The second and final day of the extensive development testing program for the upcoming Pirelli 2026 tires successfully concluded at the Hungaroring circuit, featuring participation primarily from two major Formula One teams, Ferrari and Alpine. Both teams utilized mule cars, which were adaptations of their respective 2025 championship vehicles, specifically modified to accommodate the demands of tire testing for the next generation. Ferrari ran their SF-25 mule car, while the Enstone-based Alpine team brought their A525 mule car to the track for this critical evaluation. On Wednesday at the Hungarian circuit, the weather conditions were notably warm for the region, with ambient air temperatures fluctuating between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius throughout the day. Track surface temperatures reached significantly higher levels, ranging from 31 degrees Celsius in the cooler periods up to 53 degrees Celsius during peak heat, creating challenging conditions for tire performance and durability testing. The original testing program planned for this day was intended to mirror the one carried out the previous day, but an unforeseen incident during the morning session altered the schedule. Franco Colapinto, driving for Alpine, was involved in an off-track accident at turn 11. The impact caused considerable damage to the mule car, damage severe enough that repairs could not be made at the circuit itself. Fortunately, after thorough medical examinations, the Argentine driver was cleared of any serious physical injuries. The exact cause of the incident was not clearly identified. However, it is important to note that the Argentine driver was operating on a high downforce configuration track but was driving a mule car set up with a low downforce Monza-style aerodynamic package. This setup was intentionally designed to simulate the expected aerodynamic characteristics of the 2026 Formula One cars, which are projected to generate approximately 20% less vertical downforce compared to current models. Before the incident, Franco Colapinto had completed a total of 25 laps on the circuit, recording a best lap time of 1 minute 20.270 seconds. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc completed a comprehensive testing program throughout the day, finishing with an impressive total of 144 laps and achieving a fastest lap time of 1 minute 19.407 seconds. During the morning session, the Ferrari driver conducted multiple short-run comparisons using various tire prototypes, which ranged from the C3 compound to the softer C5 compound. The goal of these runs was to evaluate the absolute performance levels of the different tire compounds under controlled conditions. In the afternoon session, Charles Leclerc shifted his focus to long-run testing in order to analyze the tire's behavior over an extended distance. It was during this phase that a variant of the C2 compound was also tested on a long-run basis to gather data about its durability and consistency. Both Ferrari and Alpine had to adapt the suspensions on their respective mule cars to properly accommodate the new tire dimensions introduced for 2026. While the tire diameter remains consistent at 18 inches, the widths were notably reduced, with the front tires being 25 mm narrower and the rear tires 30 mm narrower than the previous generation. These changes were designed to align with the regulatory updates and to offer new performance dynamics for the upcoming cars. During this second day of the 2026 Pirelli tire testing program, Ferrari notably deployed their SF-25 mule car, driven by the talented Charles Leclerc. This mule car was fitted with a very low downforce front wing, which incorporated a prototype system aimed at testing movable flaps. These movable flaps are an essential part of the new aerodynamic regulations that will come into effect in the next Formula One season. The Italian team took advantage of two different front wing configurations to collect valuable data that will help them optimize the performance of the new cars. Despite still recovering from the disappointment of Charles Leclerc's fourth-place finish at the recent Hungarian Grand Prix, a race where he had the advantage of starting from pole position, Ferrari is channeling significant energy and meticulous attention toward the analysis and development of the 2026 Pirelli tires. The focus on these tires is critical, as tire performance is a decisive factor in race strategy and overall car competitiveness. It is no coincidence that Ferrari made the strategic decision to convert an SF-25 chassis into a mule car specifically for these tests. In previous years, the team had supplied Pirelli with an SF-24 mule car, which was the actual car raced during the previous season. This shift reflects Ferrari's desire to have testing machinery that better represents the latest technical developments and performance characteristics of their current cars. This particular modification was first observed during the Fiorano testing sessions on June 19 and 20, where Ferrari conducted wet tire tests for 2026. Both Guanyu Zhou and Charles Leclerc participated in these sessions. The tests hinted at the potential benefits of evaluating the car's behavior with a pull rod suspension setup, replacing the more traditional pushrod design. This evaluation is likely connected to the team's anticipation of possible synergies with the more agile, lighter car expected to compete in the 2026 Formula One season. Following these developments, the FIA issued a specific technical directive permitting teams to install an actuator system for the purpose of testing the new front active wing. This innovation allows Pirelli and the teams to study how tire behavior is affected by the operation of two movable flaps on the front wing, which open and close during cornering to optimize aerodynamic efficiency and tire grip. Ferrari undertook a detailed study of this aerodynamic element and decided to relocate the height adjuster of the last flap from the outside edge of the wing element to its inner side. In addition, the adjustment mechanism was simplified such that the angle variation can only be performed manually using a screwdriver by a dedicated mechanic who adjusts a screw to alter the flap's resistance. During the tests conducted in Hungary on Wednesday, which were organized by Pirelli as the sole tire supplier for Formula One, the manual control system previously used on the front wing appeared to have been replaced by a more sophisticated setup. This new system could potentially be hydraulically actuated, representing a significant technical step forward. It is possible that Ferrari experimented with a prototype solution that may bear little or no resemblance to the final system that will be installed on the 678 car, which is the team's official 2026 Formula One challenger. If this is the case, Charles Leclerc had the unique privilege of manually activating the front active wing himself during testing, providing him and the engineers with the first important insights into one of the novel aerodynamic concepts we can expect to see on Formula One cars in the next season. Meanwhile, several other teams have opted not to invest budget cap resources in testing a front wing system that differs substantially from the one planned for the 2026 season. These teams deemed that the information gathered from such tests would have limited value or relevance. Nevertheless, within Ferrari's racing department, there is a clear understanding that there can be no room for error as the team prepares to enter a fundamentally new regulatory era in Formula One. As a result, they have chosen to proactively invest in future technologies and collaborate closely with Pirelli, the tire supplier. This approach demonstrates a high level of strategic clarity and foresight, emerging during what could otherwise be described as a challenging or uncertain phase for the Maranello team and the sport. This comprehensive testing phase, combined with innovative aerodynamic experiments and tire evaluations, underscores Ferrari's commitment to maintaining competitiveness and technical leadership in the fast-evolving world of Formula One, as teams gear up for a season defined by significant technical and regulatory transformations, and a season in which the Italian side is no longer allowed to make mistakes, in the hope of finally returning to the top of the most important motorsport series.